Evening all, it's me again, back. But I feel a bit rude because over the last few months I've never ever mentioned and thanked all my subscribers and all the people that are following me and trusting me and believe me, which I'm very grateful because I have no reason to come here and lie to you. Simple as that. I just want the story out and I will tell as many stories as I can remember and many stories that I know, good and bad. Anyway, but the first thing I want to say, something Bernard said to me when I first come on here and I was doing a book. He said, I wish you all the best with your silly little book. Well, Bernard, my silly little book is doing very well. And I'm glad I never got you involved in it. Because if I did, I probably wouldn't have sold one copy. So that's out of the way. Another thing is you keep blabbing your gob off that I was only around until 91. So I've been waiting for this to come through the post for quite a while. And it's all my previous. So if you look carefully, Bernard, there, right, carefully, that is right, isn't it? It's the right way. Let's have a look. Yes, the right way. Can you see it there? It says that Brian Rolfe was sentenced at Chelmsford Crown Court in 1993. And it's all for fraud and deception. See it, Bernard? Keep looking at the year, because you keep thinking I want around, you fat fucker. When I was. So, in 1993, well, just before 93, as I told you before, Mr. Gary Duckrell come round and see me and asked me to put some capsules in my brother's car. And he had made all that go away. But I didn't do it. So I got sentenced at Chelmsford Crown Court, March 1993. Now listen carefully, Humpty Dumpty. 1993, not 91 when you think I fucked off. 93. So in 93, I was sentenced to prison. I have no reason to lie. So I was sentenced to prison anyway. I went to Chelmsford Prison where I spent, I think it was a period of 2 months. I worked in the kitchen at Chelmsford, and after 2 months, I was sent to an open prison, Stamford Hill in Kent. Yes, Kent, Bernard. I went there. I wasn't even handcuffed when I left Chelmsford. I was taken in a taxi with an officer and a taxi driver, and I was taken to Stamford Hill, which is an open prison. Okay, it has 2 blocks to it, and it has on the 2 blocks, each block has a lower landing and a next landing. So there's one landing on the ground floor. So when I was there for about a week and a half, I got a job in the officers' mess. And in the officers' mess, the lady chef, she was a lady chef. Now, anyone that's been to Stamford Hill will back me up on this. She was a lady chef, a very, very, very large woman. But I got on all right because she used to nick blocks of cheese and packs of bacon, and I kept my mouth shut. And I used to get loads of sachets of hot chocolate and that coffees, that sort of thing. And I used to sell those sort of things on the wings and keep stuff myself. And I got other bits and bobs out, which was good. And I got decent meals from the officers' mess. Anyway, this is gospel truth. I'm not going to lie to you like I haven't lied from the start. One day I was at work doing the washing up, because that's all my job was preparing and washing up and wiping tables down. I was nothing special in the officer's mess. The lady was the chef and I was just the Joey, but the money was good and it was trust. So ended one day I went into the parlour room where all the stuff's kept to get something, and I caught the big huge fat cat in the back room with an officer with his flies down there. I didn't see him doing anything, but when I walked in he was doing his flies up. She looked a bit flush in the face. A week later I lost my job. But I didn't say anything, so I knew what was going on. But put two and two together, and there was something going on. So I lost my job, and I went into the building side. I took a bricklaying course there. And on the bricklaying course, you went out of the prison, and we worked on I think it was a youth club thing we were building. Now, whoever's been to Stamford Hill, we know they were building things out on in the villages. So yes. So when I got their building, that's where Craig would come down once a month for me and drop me off my little parcels, tobacco, bit of cash, and a bit of the other gear that I could make money on. So there was always a few nice pills going about and some cannabis. So I was never short and I had an easy life. There at Stamford Deal, used to come out the block, walk down, come out, turn left, walk down, it led you to the canteen, and the back of that was a big, huge football pitch. Yes. And I used to go running every night around the football pitches, keeping fit, because I was a good runner. I didn't go gym, bodybuilding, that sort of thing there. And Craig used to come and see me every 2 weeks, sometimes every 6 weeks, when he found time. I'm not going to lie and say he was a frequent visitor, because he wasn't. Well, one day he come down with Mark Randall to see me, knowing that I was due for home leave soon, and he said he'd come and get me, pick me up. But he never did. I got the train home. Anyway, he'd come and see me, and I think he must have been on something, because he was a little bit out of his head, because when he left me, he decided to get in his XR3i, him and Mark, go onto the lawn and start wheel spinning, and then drive off. And the governor of the prison was not happy. So that was me spending 3 days down the fucking block because of my idiot brother. Anyway, November come and I got home leave Monday till Friday. So I went home, I see Craig and a few of the others, and Craig said to me, "Why don't you stay out, not go back?" So I said, "No, I ain't got long left. I'm out next year." So the idea was, I said, if I fall down the stairs, get a doctor's note, I'm unfit to travel. Extra 5 days out. Good idea, Craig said. So Craig got a baseball bat and I said, just whack me on the back a bit here. And he whacked me so fucking hard, I thought he broke me back. Anyway, it left a bruise. I did fall down the stairs and I got a sick note off my doctor, unfit for travel. So I got an extra 5 days out. And when I did travel back to Kent, I got 3 days down the block again for not turning back on time, even though I had a doctor's note. So it doesn't pay to con the system. Just do your home leave and go back. Anyway, that's the time when I went to Stamford Hill. So Bernard, like I just said, you were saying I wasn't around after 91. I just proved you I was there 93. So I come out 94, I was around 94. And I was around 95 until January, February, till May time. And that's when I took the last good hiding and I fucked off. So you keep asking me why I never met Pat Tate. How can you explain something to a stupid fat man? I was not part of their gang, all right? I was not hanging around with them. I wasn't their fucking friends. All I done was got the cars. And sometimes I'd go on with my brother on little jobs. That was it. I was not their buddy. I was not their drinking partners. I didn't sleep around their fucking houses. And I didn't shag their birds. Like you, Bernard. You was not a partner. You was a head doorman that used to like carrying a camera round in records, because you thought once you took that camera and you took photos of people dealing, that was your proof to go to the police. We know you carried a camera, and there's quite a few more people know that you always carried a camera. So that's how you got the photos of you and Pat and Tony, okay? I'm not stupid. See, what I don't understand, Bernard, you make yourself out to be this rock hard person, okay? Yeah, all you do is someone challenges you, you clamp down, you threaten them, you bully them, you take them off your fucking silly little group that you got. You're losing half of that now. A lot of people are leaving you. You're no better than Mr. Carlton, are you? Hey. Now, the other day, someone gave me Carlton's address and said, write to him if you don't answer. I know where you're coming from, and I'm not going to say, give me it, but I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't appreciate someone getting my address out without my permission. So, Carlton, I'm telling you now, I haven't given your address out to anyone, and I have no intentions of writing to you. Because if you can't be bothered to come in here and speak to me face to face on a podcast, what chance have I got you fucking write a letter to me? So that's gone in the bin, your address, mate. But I've still got your postcode and that. So if you ever want to know if I'm telling the truth, I'll give you a door number and your postcode to you. I have no reason to lie, Bernard. Right, I'm going to talk about Ralph Barrington. Barrington. I was asked if I knew him, and I've never heard of the name, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've never heard the name. But a picture come up tonight, and I always remember a face. Like you can walk down the street, and someone can say, I know you, I haven't seen him years ago, but you don't know the person's name, but you do recognise him. So yeah, I did meet him in a pub, 93, I think it's 93 or 94, I can't remember this. And he was investigating a car ringing game. The two brothers, the so-called, were involved in it with their scrapyard in Kent. Now, I don't know if they were involved in it. If I did, I'm not going to say they was. But he was investigating that, and he was asking me if any of my vehicles went that way, or if I knew what they were up to with this massive. Apparently, it was a big ringing game. They used to get salvage cars after they had an accident from insurance companies. They were written off. They used to get the car that was that written off and just keep the registration and logbook and send them abroad. That's what the game was. So I knew nothing about that sort of ringing game. You know what I mean? And no part of it. So that's the first time I ever met that bloke. I didn't like him then, and I don't like him now. He seems a right fucking bent copper. Gary Duckrell. Now I've heard he's got promoted. He's gone quite high up the ladder in the police force. Now I have tried to speak to him. I have tried to phone Chelmsford Police Station, but he won't speak to me because I want to know why the surveillance was taken off the car, off the Range Rover and off Craig. But he won't get back to me. See, I knew they were being tracked. I think a lot of people knew they were being tracked. And I knew that Craig had a gun on him. I put my life on that. That wasn't found. See, Bernard comes out with these stupid videos of they went from the pub and they drove down here and they're going to meet an aeroplane coming flying past, or they're going to meet Bernard. You're like me, mate, all right? You know fuck all. You got no idea why they went down that lane. No idea who they were with down that lane. Whether another vehicle turned up. Well, you don't fucking know. You can make your silly little fucking videos and your stories. All you're doing is fooling yourself. Like you did when you'd done a video saying you took Pat to meet Kenneth and Ken. Then you had to admit you lied because I think Kenneth got a bit upset over that, didn't he? And all the time you've been to court and you've lied at court and been done for it. So why should anyone listen to what rolls off your fucking tongue? Now, the other day I was out shopping with my wife. Okay, and I went to this shop, this second-hand shop, and I see Bernard sitting on the side. So I thought to myself, Bernard, you can come and live with me, mate. Because you're not having much fucking luck where you're living there, are you? You're upsetting everybody. If you come and live with me, Bernard, and you can talk, which give it time, we might get your accent, be able to talk, you can become a proper British citizen with a proper manner of talking to people in a polite way. No bullying, Bernard, no bullying. It does look like you, Bernard, doesn't it? Anyway, I've heard Bernard's hiding somewhere, or he could be arrested, or I don't know, he's not around at the minute because he's not making any fucking remarks. So I'm hoping tonight, with me doing this video, is going to pull the fat bastard from out under his rock. And stop lying, Bernard. Stop it. You were just a poxy doorman, a head doorman. I'll give you that because no one else wanted it. All right. No one liked you. You controlled in a certain way what happened in Raquel's. You was the head doorman. You knew what everything was going on, but you was never a partner, was you? Come on, be honest. For once in your life, be. I don't think you can be honest, can you? Really? I think all your life you've lied. I've lied in my life, Bernard. Yeah, I'm not going to bet about it. But it just rolls off your tongue. See, I could come on here and say, yeah, I was round 95, yeah. They asked me to come in the Range Rover with them, but they fucking didn't. They asked me to follow behind, but they fucking didn't. They told me I was going down the lane, but they fucking didn't. See, Bern, they didn't tell me nothing. And I see my brother 94, and we had a good old chat, and he apologised to me because he thought I was the grass, which is I was grateful for. You know what I mean? I was happy. It upset me when he told me that he had trust back in me. But he didn't tell me why he was going down that fucking lane. Like you never knew. Carlton never knew. All you'd done is made up your stories from other people's misery, made it into stories as though you're it. Same as Carlton. He's done the same with the stupid fucking phone call and that happened and the calling the police that never happened. You with me? The only person that Tony probably would have had backup with him would have been Lee Chapman. That's it. He trusted Lee. Now people say that Tony and Pat fell out. I don't know. No one told me if they fell out. But I never met Pat. I was just a normal person that went to work all day, and when I could make money out of the banker's drafts, I made it. You with me? And I went on a couple of jobs with my brother and Tony. That was it. I was never their friend, like I said. I was never their best mate. They had no trust in me. They wouldn't trust me. They'd use me. But once you get caught in that spider's web with those three, well, in my time, those two, you can't get out. You're stuck. It's like Donna. I remember November time when I went round to Craig's house, all right, Mill Green. I was around Craig's house, right? And Kevin was there. Me and Mark went round. Donna was there. And Kevin was on the settee and he looked fucking well out of it, though he couldn't talk properly and that. And I knew in my little head that Craig had done the same thing to him that he did to me. So I left that house ASP. Not because what was going on, because memories bringing back to me what happened. So I fucked off. I went home. I left Mark, Donna, and Craig there. And it wasn't to the next day that Mark told me what went off, and they dumped Kevin in a ditch. You know what I mean? A bloke. It went too far. And all this about they ripped him off with supposed to ripped Craig off with drug. It's rubbish. Rubbish. Craig used to drug people to find out if he was a police informer. That's all it was. He wasn't drugging because you fucking nicked some gear. It was because he drugged him because he thought he was a police informer, or he thought you knew someone was dealing gear, big bulks, and wanted to get information out for you. That was all it's for. Not the stories that you come out with, Bernard. All right. And Tony had no part in it. All right. I put my life on that. Tony had no part in it. It was Craig. Mark was there. And fucking Donna was there. All right. So she started a new life. She had to make up these false allegations against other people. She didn't know, like the gun. We knew it was around my mum's house. Now, by rights, firearm squad should have gone round for that, shouldn't they? But they didn't. We know they didn't. And it was never going to be sold, Bernard. Where you got that one from, another thing. It was never up for sale. Donna shit herself. She'd give it up. No one knew about that machine gun until Donna opened her gob to the coppers. Okay? And Donna didn't know about fucking Mick the pilot until she was told to. See, there's so many stories out there. With all these stories, no one's going to find the truth, are they? That's the thing, because people like you, Bernard, and Carlton, and that keep putting your silly little fucking theories out. But I'm going to keep digging deeper, deeper and deeper until I dig that big hole that you and Carlton fall in. And when you fall in it, no one's going to get you out of a ladder. You're going to be at the bottom begging for your fucking lives, wanting to tell the truth. Because it's people like you lot that have destroyed the truth, destroyed the two that are in prison with your lies. See, Carlton's going on about now that, you know, Terry Stone and that lot should give money to the families with these films. I didn't see you putting your hand in your fucking pocket, Carlton, and saying, you know what I mean, to your so-called best mate's family, you know what I mean, or his daughter. There's some cash for you. Like, I'm sorry about your dad. I've made money out of the film, and your dad and that. Here's some money for you. No. So don't come on here saying people should put money from the films to fucking families, Cole, when you can't do it yourself, you low life, fucking fat, deflated doorman. Have some balls and speak to me. And Bernard, you are the lowest of lowest. When I walk down the street and see a lump of dog shit on the floor, that's you, mate. That's fucking you. Dog shit. Yeah, dog shit. Anyway, it's not much to say tonight, really, because I want to save some of these stories. I want to tell you about a story at Pitsy Tip when we were kids. I've got a story for you. And this is a true story. And you can ask the doorman this. We're going back some years now. We're going back to about 87, 88, 89. Go around the 3 years. Only because I had 3 years of shit from that fucking bloke. Anyway, we burgled a factory. Okay? Nothing special. And when we built this factory, Dave Stratton said to me, I know someone that's after a microwave. Stupid fucking microwave. They would go and buy them from the shop. So in the day, Dave Stratton nicked this microwave. And we give this microwave to a doorman called Smut. Okay. He paid, I think, about £30 for it for Stratton. Smut got raided for some reason a few months later. And this microwave had one of those fucking codes on it. You put a light and you can see it, I think. I don't know, he got nicked. And he got nicked from the microwave. And he thought that we mentioned his name, this microwave. So every time we went to clubbing, whether it was King's Club, he used to have a nightclub on the industrial site near Ford Tracks, I can't remember what it's called now, pubs and shops. Every time we went there, Smut would let us in, let us have a few drinks, and then come and beat us up, chuck us out, because we so-called grassed him. So I brought this very expensive shirt one day, and I went to King's Club, and Smut was on, and I walked in, and after a few drinks, him and his silly little fucking doorman slung me out, gave me a slap, but they ripped the shirt off my arm, and that was a lot of money to me. So cutting this long story short, had a few slaps off Smut. And Craig said to me, look, I can sort this for you, find out where he lives, and I'll sort it for you. So we found out where Smut lives. He lives in Pitsy and lives at the top of the hill on this house and estate. I'm not going to give it. And he lives, I think it's a second-hand house on your right. So one night, I went with Craig to show Craig where he lives, and Smut was working. And Craig said, look, we'll wait here. He'll be home soon. And we waited, and Smut did come home in his car. And Craig pulled out a rifle. Only an air rifle. Nothing fucking serious. And took 2 shots at Smut. One in the leg and one in the stomach. And we fucked off. I think that wound Smut up. But I never had any more trouble with him. I don't think he knows it was us lot that did it. But I had no more trouble. So Craig wasn't worried what he'd use or what he'd do to get revenge on someone or hurt someone. Even though it was only an air rifle, you still get a bit of fucking pain. So that's another story. But I will tell you some good ones, some good stories. But at the minute, like I say, I've got to meet an officer and make a complaint to him about the bent police officers from Basildon. Yes, The corrupt police officers, the ones that used to take a few quid. Hey, Jack, I don't mind. I'm not worried about people taking fucking backhanders and giving you a bit of information or leaving you alone. What I'm concerned about is the fact they knew they were dead. Someone found them, I reckon 6, and rung it in at 6:30. I reckon there's his footprint, the trainer. Because most coppers that drive the cars and on squads wear trainers in case they have to chase someone. Very rare they wear shoes. So why did they let Craig go? And another thing is, David and his lot are doing a fantastic job. Okay, you know what I mean? They really fought for Mickey and John to get the innocent, and I back them all the way. But I spoke to a CID officer the other day, someone here that's a member of the family that knows him. And I spoke to him and I said, "Excuse me, if I'm a band driver and I pulled up next to you and you knew I was a band driver, could you arrest me?" He said, "Of course I fucking could." So all this about the conspiracy side that the officer was CID when he's speaking to Craig and that he couldn't arrest him. A copper's a copper. Whether you're CID, a PC, you're a police officer. Now, if you see me drive off in the car and I'm disqualified and you can't be bothered to chase me, you radio it through. But if I'm standing next to you talking to you and you say to yourself, he's fucking disqualified. Oi, come here, Craig, you're disqualified. You're not getting back in that fuck. Give me the keys. I'm arresting you. They can do it. So all this about they can't do it is a load of rubbish. All right, and that's come from a police officer that I see last week and asked him, and I think he thought I was a bit of a fucking idiot, to be honest with you. So what I'm trying to say, once a police officer, always a police officer. All right, I'm not having a go at anyone. Far from it. And I think Dave and his lads are doing a fantastic job. But once a police officer, always a police officer. And deep down in my heart, and what Jack Bowler said to me when they had a word with me about the death of my brother, and he come out and he said to me, "It had to be done, Brian, sorry. I know the police are fucking involved in this some way. I know they had some part in their deaths. It was brilliant for them. I'm not saying they pulled the trigger, but they knew it was going down. 3 drug dealers out of the way. Saves the police running around like fucking headless chickens, doesn't it? So I'm going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I don't care how many people on here from the police will try and put me off, saying it couldn't have happened, Brian. No, that would run that. It happened. They are part of it. Because I know Craig had a gun on him. All right, he had a gun. Because when I met him that night, he kept pacing up and down, a bit nervous, a bit worried about something. I thought he was on something, but Mother said he wasn't. When I was outside to the early hours the next day on the 5th talking to him, you with me, I see the gun. And I know Craig would have used it, but there was no phone and no gun. Now, I know he had a few numbers on his phone of police officers that were on a bit of a payroll. And they were on the payroll. Jack's been on the payroll for us for quite a few years. So it makes you wonder where the gun went and the phone went. Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore. Like I say, I've got this interview with this officer, and once I get some more information, and hopefully, touch wood, they do investigate. They might tell me to piss off. It's old school. I don't know. Maybe I should do what John done. Shouldn't I stand on motorways with a fucking big sign saying corrupt police? Good idea, you know. I could put a banner over the motorway and one, couldn't I? Corrupt police from Basildon. It might make a few people move their heads and start answering me. Listen, we'll see how it goes. If we don't go too good, then I will start making myself known a bit. Anyway, I'm off now. It's been a lovely weekend, and it's back to that thing called work in the morning. Yes, Carlton, you don't know what work is, do you? Bernard, well, you've never known work. I suppose depression you got. I don't know. But let's have no more lies at you two fat fuckers, eh? Say good night to Bernard, everyone. I'm going to put him in his little fucking egg box. Right, everyone. And thanks again for everyone's subscribed and listening to this old man. All right, I'll do my best. Bye.